Sometimes it is easy to forget that the characters we see in movies are real-life humans with feelings, emotions, and lives separate from the movies we adore the Hollywood stars for. During the filming of 100 Rifles, a lot of things happened on set that bore no reflection on the film itself, but just as serious. One of them is the huff rift between Raquel Welch and Burt Reynolds. We'll get to the bottom of this, but first, let's backtrack a bit. Why the film was conceived. The producer of That 70s Show, Martin Schwartz, had just signed a 4-picture deal with the big film corporation, 20th Century Fox, and as such, the first film in the contract needed to be one worth watching, as it would dictate how well the next 3 would go. As one might imagine, there was a lot of pressure on Martin to bring his A-game and produce a really good film, so he got an idea based on a novel by Robert McLeod. Claire Huffaker originally wrote the script. The plot was around a lawman who, in his quest to catch a robber, got captured by a Mexican general and eventually got reeled into a much bigger mission, a higher calling that was larger than them. The robber Joe and the lawman had to work together and eventually be part of a revolution. Joe finally falls in love with the leader of the revolution, Sorry, and the lawman goes home, leaving the robber to lead. The picture had such a great theme and thus needed solid characters to embody the vision of the story, and so the search for the right cast was on. Eventually, Raquel Welch was selected to play the role of Sorry, the beautiful and resilient revolutionary. Burt Reynolds was cast as the man who later falls in love with her. It was perfect. The producers and director were sure of their choice because the actors already personified the characters in real life. Raquel was gorgeous and had poise and intelligence. Reynolds was a typical lover boy, charismatic and exciting to be around. No one thought anything would go wrong with the characters, but everyone was wrong. The chemistry. The 2 stars collided in a collision of fate and film magic. Raquel Welch and Burt Reynolds, both young and on the brink of stardom, found themselves on the set of 100 Rifles. Little did they know, their journey would be marked by more than just scripted lines and action scenes. As they first crossed paths, their eyes locked in a moment that seemed to foretell the chemistry about to unfold on screen. Raquel, with her beauty that could stop anyone in their tracks, and Burt, with his rugged charm and charisma, were like 2 sides of a magnet irresistibly drawn together. As their characters' storylines intertwined, so did their real-life connection. The excitement was palpable. The anticipation of filming scenes where their characters would eventually fall in love had an electrifying effect. They shared laughter, exchanged stories, and quickly found themselves developing a camaraderie that mirrored the dynamic of their on-screen counterparts. But what really made the producers rub their hands together in satisfaction was the undeniable spark between Raquel and Burt. It was as if the universe had conspired to make their chemistry off the charts. They bantered effortlessly, finishing each other's sentences and evoking genuine reactions from one another. The producers knew they had struck gold, the kind of chemistry that would translate flawlessly onto the silver screen. The rift. Amid the sun-soaked sets and desert landscapes of 100 Rifles, a single moment unfolded that sent ripples through the delicate balance of chemistry between Raquel Welch and Burt Reynolds. It was a day like any other, the air tinged with excitement and camaraderie. Burt, known for his wit and sometimes irreverent comments, let slip a remark about Raquel that he likely didn't think twice about. Yet the instant those words escaped his lips, a heavy realization settled upon him like a cloud. Raquel's reaction was swift and intense, a torrent of emotions that shattered the comfortable rapport they had built. Her anger was palpable, her voice cutting through the air as she demanded that he never speak such words about her again. It was a moment of rupture, a breach in the connection they had cherished just days before. From that moment on, an unspoken barrier emerged. Raquel, hurt and wounded, decided to keep her distance. The warmth that had flowed between them was now replaced with an icy silence. Conversations dwindled to the bare necessities, and the spark that had once set the set ablaze seemed to be extinguished. The dynamic that had once been so electric now mirrored that of distant colleagues rather than the close friends they had become. The question that lingered in the air like an unresolved plot twist was, what could Burt Reynolds have possibly said to trigger such a fierce reaction from Raquel Welch? The exact words might forever remain confined to the realms of speculation, locked away in the vault of Hollywood's mysteries. Some conjectured that his comment might have unintentionally wounded her, shaking the foundation of the connection they had fostered. Perhaps it was a comment that implied he wasn't reciprocating her interest in the same fervent way she had hoped. While the truth might remain elusive, the theory held a certain plausibility. After all, it's often the most minor words that hold the most profound impact. Whatever the content of that fateful comment, it was enough to turn the tides of their chemistry and leave an indelible mark on the remainder of the shoot. As the days rolled on, the once vibrant connection continued to erode. Raquel's decision to speak to Burt only when necessary created a gulf that even the script's fiery scenes couldn't bridge. Their interactions became rehearsed, their glances devoid of the warmth they had once held. The energy that had fueled their on-screen and off-screen dynamics was now replaced by a palpable awkwardness. The aftermath. Despite the rift that had emerged between Raquel Welch and Burt Reynolds during the filming of 100 Rifles, both actors managed to navigate the tricky waters of professionalism. The movie's production continued, fueled by the dedication and commitment of the entire cast and crew, including the two stars who had once shared a magnetic chemistry. On screen, their interactions seemed seamless, their connection undetectable to the untrained eye. Fans, as they flocked to theaters to watch the movie, were none the wiser about the off-screen turmoil that had transpired. Fast forward 3 years to 1972, and destiny once again brought Raquel Welch and Burt Reynolds back together, this time for the movie Fuzz. However, this reunion came with a caveat. Raquel agreed to take part in the project only under the condition that she would not have to share any scenes with Reynolds. The once fiery chemistry had cooled into a frosty distance, and both actors were determined to keep their interactions as minimal as possible. The passing years did little to thaw the ice between them. It wasn't until 1982, a full decade after their initial rift, that circumstances led to an unexpected twist. Raquel Welch was cast in Cannery Row, but the production hit a roadblock when the producers decided to terminate her contract, citing unprofessional behavior. Deborah Winger was brought in as a replacement. In an unexpected turn of events, Burt Reynolds stepped onto the scene as a surprising ally. Despite their years of discord, he testified on Raquel's behalf during the legal battle that ensued. The spoke of her punctuality, preparation, and professionalism on set, painting a picture that contradicted the negative image portrayed by the producers. It was a moment that held a mirror to the complexity of human relationships, where personal feelings and professional respect could coexist in unexpected ways. Ultimately, Raquel Welch emerged victorious from the legal battle, winning a settlement of $10.8 million. It was a resolution that marked the end of a tumultuous chapter in both their lives. The conflict that had brewed for years was finally put to rest, and the two actors, despite their differences, had each played their parts in the grand tapestry of Hollywood's ever-unfolding story. So many secrets lurk behind the curtains of Hollywood movies. What you see on screen is not necessarily a reflection of what happened on set. Just like 100 Rifles, secrets and hidden narratives exist in yet another Hollywood famous show, That 70s Show. Click here to check it out.